I'm forgetting which one's weak against
Galaxy. Which one
Galaxy.
is weak against space?
Jewel Man. You gotta think in terms of logic. Like, which bosses spawn a lot of objects that could be sucked up by the black hole?
I was thinking more in terms of okay, Crystal is weak to Galaxy because people use crystals to they ponder them.
They ponder crystals.
And and when they ponder
Pondering
them, they're going inside their mind, and Galaxy is outside, so it's in versus out, really. So Crystal should be weak to Galaxy. That's my reasoning.
Yeah.
Flawless logic. What do you think of that?
Anyway, I hope they, I know A Link Between Worlds wasn't, Nintendo EAD, but I hope they go back to that formula when they're done with this. Because that, I think, like, opening up, taking the existing Zelda formula and just opening it up completely was a cool idea. So then you could just do the dungeons in reverse order and shit. If you're bored.
And I mean, Tears of the Kingdom it's balanced so strange. It's like, I mean, you can just walk into a room and be one-shotted out of like 12 hearts of damage by something that you can't see is behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Why everything is such a damage sponge?
Yeah.
It's damage sponge enemies and breakable weapons. It's like, I remember there's a few bosses I fought where I literally went through all of my weapons fighting them. I was like, oh, what?
Whoa.
And I had to look around. Okay, hold on, let me find something to make while I'm fighting it. It's like, oh man, that's weird. It's really weird.
When's Open World Mega Man?
Oh, hopefully never.
I wonder if we're done with the open world meme. Like,
it won't go away. Reviewers love it. They can't get
Zelda,
enough.
Zelda and Elden Ring just owned it, and you can't do any better than that. So
hopefully it's gone
let's just
because
move on.
Journalists just can't get enough of its journal core. Like,
yeah, it's true.
When they see it's open world, I think in their mind they think, oh, it's open world. There's no way I can ever really beat it, so I don't have to.
I
can review it without really beating it all. Must be what it is, right? Because a journo sees this game and they're like, well, I mean, what if I can't get past the first stage? I can't review this.
Yeah.
But you get an open world game and it's like, oh, okay, well. I mean, I walked to the left when I started and I found fun stuff.
Speaking of which, like, how the hell do you review a fighting game, for example? Like, how do you review an arena FPS?
As the more time that goes on, the more I realize you just can't review anything.
Yeah, they just make up shit.
You just can't. Nobody can actually review anything.
Well,
I kind of decided this because there's no way you can review something. Like, if you're a professional reviewer and you get a review code 2 weeks before the game comes out, there's no way you can review a game in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It takes like years, really, before you can understand this game.
Yeah, you gotta learn to like appreciate it and give it some real time.
It's not. Yeah, you can't. I'm over the idea of like IGN. It's gone. There's no reason to bother with it. Like, you're much better off looking for someone who is like trying to review a game like 10 years after it came out, and the video is not 13 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no more of that.
Ooh.
But
made it.
It's more like I'm more in line with that right now. It is fun to look at the Metacritic scores, so to complain. It is fun.
Yeah.
But
and then like spam negative reviews on user reviews
Yeah,
to make up for it.
I don't know if you ever noticed this, but you can actually go to like say IGN or GameSpot or something, and the reviewers like they'll say who wrote the review and all that, and sometimes
Oh shit!
you'll see them say like they gave a game like a 9, and then like a year later they'll be talking about the game. It wasn't that good. Like in the
Yeah.
I've noticed this,
Uh-huh.
and I'm thinking like I don't know. Did they just go like? They'll just say it wasn't that good, or this one was good and got a bad review, whatever. And their real opinion comes out a few months later. Yeah, I've noticed this a few times.
Yeah.
Their opinion for the review is this, but their real opinion comes out like months later, and they're when they're allowed to say it. It's so
Oh
funny.
jeez.
But I do wonder if it's not that that's their real opinion; it's just that they had time to think about it, right?
Yeah.
Because you can get so swept up in the hype that you can give Tears of the Kingdom a 10,
Mm-hmm.
which no one in their right mind would ever do ever if they thought about it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I can't understand how it can have a 10. I can barely understand how anything can get a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand my favorite. I wouldn't give my favorite game a 10.
Yeah,
You
because
can't.
like
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, nothing that's good doesn't have any flaws. If something's like,
I've never seen it. It might just be Tetris.
if something has no recognizable flaws, it's
Yeah.
because it's well, Tetris is a good
It
example.
might be the only 10 is Tetris. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, but if something has no recognizable flaws, it's because it's like Garfield Kart, and you're not thinking about the flaws because it's so
Yeah.
mediocre.
Yeah. That's an interesting concept. That maybe the only true 10 is Tetris.
Yeah,
Might be. Think about it. It's
like how would you fix it?
I don't know. It's
Even though they developed the mechanics of Tetris, people still prefer the original.
like the standard version of Tetris that like usually like speedrunners and people play like they'll either play like Tetris NES, Tetris Game Boy, or Tetris Grandmaster 3.
Mm-hmm.
Those and they're essentially the same, but if you look at Tetris, like even Pong screws up. It's not programmed perfect. Like Pong will have little screw ups and things that don't make sense.
Oh yeah.
That you don't really believe. You ever try playing the original Pong and it's like there's some fuzzy programming in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so simple, but yet it's not. It feels like it's not programmed perfect. But if you play Game Boy Tetris, NES Tetris, Grandmaster, it feels like almost nothing can go wrong in the game. It feels like it's perfectly programmed. I don't know how to explain it. It's I don't know. There's no really word to describe it. It's like it's complex and has no problems, and it's novel. The idea,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's not like Pong is like not complex enough.
Ooh, jeez. Yeah.
There's no way to actually like. The skill ceiling is actually low because all you're doing is increasing your reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
The skill ceiling for Tetris is astronomically high, right? But yet, it accommodates massive amounts of skill, and it accommodates like people who are just playing for fun. It accommodates any player. I don't know. It might be a 10. So simplicity isn't everything. Because if Tetris, like Pong is extremely simple, but it's not better than Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's some new frontier of game we haven't discovered yet that's actually complex, but yet self-evidently perfect. I wonder what that is. Alright. And don't say Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress, yeah.
That's the easy answer.
No, Dwarf Fortress is kind of messed up.
It is.
Like it's not balanced.
It is
so.
fuzzy. There's a fuzzy logic in it, but
for years, Dwarf Fortress was actually kind of impossible because dwarves would go into tantrum spirals.
They would. I remember them committing suicide and shit.
Yeah, they just
lose
like
their
friggin'
mind. everything was going fine, and then everyone lost their
Like
mind.
you had to like pay attention to how much booze everyone was getting, because if they weren't getting enough, they just go crazy and kill each other, just like in real life.
Yeah. What's that thing Homer said? No TV and no beer.
Yeah.
Or it makes Homer something. Go
There's
crazy.
always in Dwarf Fortress. There's always a bug that just makes like some aspect of it less than it should be. So
it's too complicated.
yeah, it's like so complicated that they can't properly finish it.
Yeah.
So it's not. But it is what it is. There'll be never be another Dwarf Fortress. You can be sure about that.
Unless somebody develops a simplified version that gets all the good things right, and makes a game of it go by really fast, so you constantly want to do the one more try type gameplay. That might be cool.
Yeah,
like they kind of did it with Into the Breach. What it was called?
yeah.
Remember that strategy game, that like isometric tile-based, turn-based strategy game that had this tiny map and like nothing, like only a tiny amount of enemies on it, but it was extremely deep.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Well, hold on.
So imagine a weird Dwarf Fortress clone with one tiny room and
The Sims.
Yeah,
No,
it's kind of like the different Sims.
No,
Combat Sims.
What's the name of that Dwarf Fortress clone? The one that took off. The one that has graphics and stuff.
I don't know.
What was it called? Anyway, most people who are listening probably know what I'm talking about. But that game is more sophisticated than Dwarf Fortress, but doesn't have like the complexity. And what it's going for is like balanced Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just as successful at the end of the day. So,
imagine you brought up this idea of the Sims. Imagine like combat Sims.
Combat Sims.
Imagine if you could like you start a family. You make it's just like the Sims in the PS2, but you can make them go into a cave, and it turns out the cave is a dungeon that goes on forever, and you have to wrangle them.
Damn.
You have to fight with them as much as you're fighting the enemies.
Oh yeah.
And they will kill each other. And you have to get to the bottom of this dungeon. It might, it's right. And the joy of it would be screaming at them. And, oh man, I think Zoomers would love that and get that shit on TikTok.
Yeah,
That's right. I don't worry.
Is there even that much gaming stuff on TikTok?
We'll call it Fighting Family.
Yeah.
You remember those books, Fighting Fantasy? I don't know if you remember that, but Fighting Family.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's what we'll do, and it'll be create your family, and it's just a complete ripoff of the Sims 1 AI. Like it's bad. Like it's exactly like the Sims 1. And you have to scream at them and keep selecting the enemy over and over again to try to make them fight it before it kills them. Bajubo!
Bajubo!
I'm screaming at you.
La Bubade!
I don't want to kill the slime. Or whatever, giant spider.
Holy crap, okay. Okay, there we go. God, this is one of the hardest levels. This is nuts.
Crystal Meth Man?
Yeah, Crystal Meth Man. Blue Magic Man.
Oh, I knew it. It was unavoidable.
Yeah.
Let's just go with it.
Yeah. Alright, how many lives do I have? 2, okay. Alright, we're doing good. Let's see if this actually works. This boss is fairly easy, so... Alright, boom. Yep, that's it. I just need to... Because he jumps when you jump, so you can predict exactly where he's gonna go. Alright. Yeah, so I got half his health bar down.
You remember those old games where they were top down and enemies moved when you moved? Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Where'd that go? It's kind of cool. Lufia is like that, I think.
Oh, whoops. Wait, shit.
That's right. Elk is allergic to in.
Yeah, yeah.
At a certain point, I think I was in high school when this started, but at a certain point in my life, I started, instead of saying weakness, I started to say allergic. Remember this?
Well, it's something I think about sometimes.
I still say it in my mind, finding out what an enemy's allergic to.
Fire is allergic to water.
So I'm fighting this boss in any game, I'm just thinking, which weapon is he allergic to? I'm always thinking that.
Uh-huh.
We must be close to an hour.
Yeah.
What are we at?
A
million minutes.
Hold on. No, 999,000 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, wait. An hour and 12 minutes.
Okay. I'm just freaking in the wrap-up mode now.
Yeah. I'll try one more level.
This is going to create 2, 35-minute videos.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow. Word, man.
So think crystals. Who's allergic to crystals?
Well, okay. I think sugar, if you look really, really closely, it's crystals under a microscope. And I know that if you're mixing wet concrete, you can put 1 bag of sugar or into a certain amount of wet concrete, and it'll never set right.
Okay.
So I heard this thing where you can sabotage construction projects with a single bag of sugar from the grocery store by just dumping it into the wet concrete that they're making.
I see.
And it'll never set, and the building will never work right.
Okay.
So maybe concrete is allergic to sugar, and sugar to crystal. So I think we can.
Well,
I think we can do that.
Let's give it a try. Every single one of these characters is just Gutsman.
Yeah, this guy's just Gutsman.
They never let Gutsman go. Like they like
never
him
let
too
go
much.
of his ass.
Yeah,
Gutsman's ass. Anytime one of these robot masters is like a big boy with the butter, this is Gutsman.
Mm-hmm.
You're all Gutsman secretly. Looking back at like the old robot masters, it's so sad how quaint they are. It's kind of like playing Smash Bros. And picking Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Like Quick Man.
Yeah.
What's that? Okay.
Like even between 1 and 2, they couldn't think of another fire concept, so they just went, Heat Man.
Yeah. Imagine if Mega Man games like this.
Heat Man should have been like Oven Man or something.
What I remember most distinctly about Heat Man. What I remember most distinctly about Heat Man was in that stage using Rush to just like cross vast chasms.
Uh-huh.
You remember that?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, imagine if Mega Man games came out with the same frequency they did on the NES, like just constantly. Imagine if it was going on until today and we were at like Mega Man 60 something. And imagine the Robot Masters. It would be like a Robot Master would be like, I don't know, we would have like Meat Man, we would have had Barbecue Man,
Uh-huh.
we would have had Salt and Vinegar Man,
Yeah.
we would have had Hat Man if we didn't already, Shoe Man, Plant Man. That's kind of Wood Man's kind of the same thing. But by plant, I mean like maybe he'd be like Moss with Moss Man. Like Bullfighter Man. Motorcycle Man. Pavement Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had something really close to that or something.
Well, we're playing Concrete Man.
Oh my god, yeah. That's holy shit. We're playing the one that's close to the one I just guessed. The Pavement Man's different though, because it's pavement. What's another Heat one? Plasma Man.
There's one in Mega Man 11. It's basically just Fireman. I forget what it is.
Cinder Man.
Yeah. Burn Man. Something. And he's a Street Fighter reference.
But the things we're coming up with would have been things we would have seen in like the 20s. Mega Man 21, 22. So we're not even nearly crazy enough to be into the Mega Man 60s.
Yeah.
Like, not even close.
You'd have to think about all the fan games and go even beyond that.
It's kind of like what happened with Pokemon. Like, it just never stopped, and we ended up with Pokemon where it's just like, it's just a red floating thing, Rotom. I don't know what it is. Like, it's really nasty, bad designs. It just suck. What is it? I don't know. It's a pair of car keys. Stuff like that.
Like, a lot of Pokemon designs are still good, but it's just their bad designs are more permitted now. Yeah. Because they gotta fill up the slots.
How can something go on that just requires new Pokemon? Like we need new Pokemons by like the hundreds every time. Let's go, guys. Let's go. How can you have a franchise like that? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, incidentally, they found themselves in that situation.
Like, SMT has had the same demon since forever, and it's fine. Maybe they should. What if right from the get go we had the same 151 right till now?
Oh man, that'd be weird.
They said whatever. Let's just freaking have the same 151, and we just kept actually working on the game to make it like different and more fun. Maybe there's a way. SMT does it. I don't mind getting the same demon 10,000 times. A little Krita, getting my gummy worm again.
I feel like you have to work harder for the SMT demons, though.
Maybe that's what they should have done in Pokemon. Made it really hard to get them.
Yeah. Like, Gengar, instead of being sought after because the way to get him is bullshit, he's hard to get because of some kind of secret arcane ritual you gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta
like fusing monsters that themselves have to be fused.
Yeah. That was such a load of crap. Those Pokemon they had to trade to evolve.
Like either, like there's no skill involved. Either you're able to do it or you're not, or none of your friends own the game. Really annoying. And doing it online is even worse because like you don't know what its stats are going to be, and it's not really yours.
I really just whatever the next mainline Pokemon game is, just I want to be a Pokemon. I don't want to be a human.
Oh shit!
I want to be Mewtwo. Can you do that?
I think I remember now. This guy's weak against Splash Woman's.
Yeah, water.
Yeah.
I like it dry.
That kind of makes sense because water makes concrete less less likely to dry or
guess-
something.
I
I don't know.
It's probably some kind of
Yeah.
thing like that where it needs to. Well, we can't have that much water in concrete.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we're done for now.
Well, that's Mega Man 9.
Yeah, Mega Man 9.